Holy shite. King of the Casuals, episode 112. And guess what? It's UFC 296, the last pay-per-view of the year. And you know what? As they say in showbiz, you save the best for last. So here we are to talk about UFC 296. Been lots of controversy last couple of weeks, particularly we'll talk about Ian Gary a little bit, but that's just a little bit. We don't do TMZ or Jesse on Fire nonsense. We just get straight into the fights. I don't really care about what's going on in their personal lives. And before we do, though, we have to remember why we're here. Jack McCarthy. We lost Jack on September 25th, 2021 to the weapon of mass destruction called fentanyl. 8 and 10 pills, counterfeit pills you buy on the street have fentanyl in them. So don't try and you won't die. God bless Jack. And let's get this party started and bring in the boys from the, I think the West Coast. Sometimes they move around though. Sometimes Josh we don't really know where he is. He's sort of like off the grid. There we go. And here we go, folks. It's Nate, Casual Nate, and Casual Fulkin Josh, who had the greatest line in casual history, which was, I like Rosenstrike, because he's got Strike in his name. I think I'll pick him.
Got Strike in his name, man. It's no brainer.
There you go. So, I mean, before we get right into the fights, I'll just say, watching the press conference, I've always thought that, the art of selling a fight includes shit talking. There's a lot of people who are saying that maybe it went Kobe Covington went a bit far by taking Leon Edwards deep into hell, and maybe we'll see your dad there, who was killed when Leon was just 13 years old. And I'm dark, like I believe in all the having fun, but that one's too far. But
I don't know. I mean, I do agree that that's a very, very shitty thing to say, and as a human being, you probably shouldn't say shit like that. Right. At the same time, like, this is par for the course for Kobe, right? Like, if he's going to keep up in his game, like, at some point he's going to get to this place, right? And so, like, part of me is like, hey, that's fucked up, fuck Kobe. But the other part's like, yeah, I bet this is run-of-the-mill Kobe. But if he's on a fucking graph, he's got to go to this point at some point.
You're right. It's like, well, it's kind of like a bad addiction, though. It's like, at what point do you fall off the edge? The edge.
Exactly.
I knew we'd get to that rotten place.
I wonder how we could take it further. Like, what's the next fucking horrible thing?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's weird because I saw him. He acts different with different people. With fighters, he's kind of an unnecessarily a jerk to fighters he'd never fight, like guys that weigh 135 or heavyweight. It's like, why are you bothering with them?
Yep.
But then I saw him with like that new fun woman, Nina Drama, on her show, and he was totally cool. But anyway, so I think that we'll get to that fight and why I think that may play into it if Leon Edwards chooses to allow it to. And it's not a good thing for Leon Edwards, I don't think.
No, absolutely not. I mean, at the end of the day, like, you want to go into the fight fucking even ready to go. You don't want to go into it with emotion. You saw what happened to Jose Aldo when he came into a fight emotional.
Right. And Conor didn't come near saying anything about dead relatives. No, I mean, there's a big difference between the shit talk of like Chael Sonnen and Conor McGregor, minus maybe the Khabib thing, but a lot of the things he did say at the Khabib conference were true. He wasn't like making things up. Ali Abdelaziz was caught on an airplane on 9/11, is thought of as at one point of his life somehow slightly extremist. So, and then Dana kicked Ali out, so it shows you where Ali really does fit in the big picture. He's just sort of a barnacle on the whales, right? Like, he's a bottom feeder. Anyway, enough about him. I'm not going to say it this time. I'm trying to keep this clean, so I won't call him the C word. Small minds talk about people, average minds, events, great minds, ideas. I prefer staying in the events and the ideas place.
Absolutely.
Because there's other channels that talk about, like, the inside scoop, Ariel Helwani, Jesse on Very Much Fire. Anyway, so we just talk about fighting because that's what we love so much. The undercard or the prelims have a couple fights we should probably cover, and then we'll get into the big stuff.
Absolutely. So the one, I mean, obviously, Cody Garbrandt and Brian, who I don't know this guy, so it's going to be Brian Keller.
Yeah.
Okay. Whew.
Brian Kelleher? Is it Brian Kelleher?
It might be Kelleher.
Yeah. Is there an H in the end there? I'm not looking at my screen. Okay, it's Kelleher, Brian Kelleher. He's good. I guess who does Vegas have?
So Vegas has Garbrandt minus 190.
So it's not a huge thing, but all right, Josh, who do you have?
He looks funny to me. I've seen Garbrandt fight a bunch of times. He's got a glass jaw.
Glass jaw.
Kelleher knocks him out. Garbrandt's going to come in. He's going to start fast. He's going to look like a little Tasmanian devil, and then he's getting slept. He brought a pillow. He's sleeping him.
All right. I think I like that. Nadles?
Well, I'm seeing Cody grinds it out, gets a decision.
Wow. He doesn't fight for decisions. The one thing I'll give Cody Garbrandt credit for is he's definitely it's negative and positive. He gets hit and he can't like take a moment to like check himself and get out of trouble. He just starts swinging back, and that's how he gets knocked out. Yep. His ego gets in the way.
Absolutely.
But at one time he was pretty good, but he ever since he's taken 3 of the whatever knockouts, he doesn't look the same to me. So I'm going to take Kelleher.
All right.
I'm going to take Kelleher by a finish too.
Okay, KO. Yeah. All right. So first one up is Josh Emmett and Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell's the favorite at minus 250.
Yeah, that's a really, really good fight. That fight is because Josh Emmett is like alien tough. You know what I mean? He's not normal.
He's a brawler.
Yeah, he's tough as nails. And Bryce Mitchell had one bad fight. But he's a hell of a he's all over. He's got great cardio. He's a good wrestler. Man. I could see that fight going either way. I could see Josh Emmett knocking Bryce Mitchell out.
Yep.
Because I don't think Josh Emmett's that easy to wrestle either.
No.
So,
absolutely not.
Man, that's a toss-up for me. I'm just going to do eeny, meeny, miny, mo because that's a really good fight. I think I'm going to go with the experience of Josh Emmett because he's not old yet. How old is he? In fighting years, I guess is more important because Yoel Romero's 47, but he's like a 20-year-old. He's 38. Bryce Mitchell's what, 27, 28,
29.
Yeah. I think Emmett's got enough. I think he's still got his wits about him and not that many injuries. I'm going to take Josh Emmett.
All right. Yeah. I love Bryce Mitchell, man. I love all the stuff he does.
He's cool.
Yeah. I think this is Bryce Mitchell's time, and Bryce Mitchell's not going to knock guys out. He's had one submission in the UFC. I think he's going to grind it out, get him down, do what he does, and get a decision.
All right, I like that call, Joshua.
Again, Josh Emmett looks funny, like the last guy. Just looks weird to me, man. But I've seen a lot of these like cock diesel guys, and these scrawny fuckers end up beating them. And I don't think his muscles mean much. So
they don't. Muscles don't mean much in fighting. I mean, to a degree, because they slow you down, you get tired. Lactic acid.
O2 intake.
Yeah.
But all these guys train like crazy. Like they all have gas tanks, right? So.
Yeah, but some have gas tanks for days.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like Kobe Covington, or Nate Diaz. So you're going to take?
That being said, I'm going with Bryce Mitchell. Decision. Yeah, the other guy looks funny.
I like that you base your very deep thinking on the way they appear.
I thought for sure you're going to go the other way after saying all that. I'm going to go with Josh Emmett, not you.
The comedian has to do a misdirect every time. What's the next fight?
Oh, the next fight. I am so excited for this one. Tony Ferguson, Paddy Pimblett.
So this, to me, is the main event.
And, yeah, absolutely, because this is such a crossroads for both fighters, right? Like, a win, like, Tony, I think, has lost, like, his last 6 fights. So, like, if he loses this one, like, it's over, right? Yeah. But there are some – no, exactly. But if he wins, right, like, there is potentially a giant fight maybe down the line a little bit that waiting for him that he could get a huge payday.
Well, that's down the line. Ferguson trained with David Goggins. A lot of people give him a hard time about that. I think it was a great idea for mental, because I think mentally, physically and mentally, Justin Gaethje took part of Tony Ferguson's soul. Yep. And I think in order to get it back, after more losses after that fight, he had to do something different, and to train with a Navy SEAL who is in ridiculously good shape. And
let's just say he's the toughest, most mentally tough human that there's ever been that anyone knows about, right?
And I believe, the people that said, well, but you got to spar and you got to do this. I'm sure Ferguson also did that, but either way, I think Ferguson's mental toughness had gone down. Whether we know it or not, I'm sure he had a lot of doubt in some of those fights, along with some physical stuff. So I think the Goggins thing, and in my opinion, I'm very biased because I love Goggins, but I think it was a great idea.
Well, the thing for me, though, is I don't know if it was so much mental toughness. I just feel like Tony's been in so many wars that his body isn't what it used to be.
But hesitancy, though, I do believe it's maybe not mental toughness, but confidence. That discipline, it's like that Goggins, had him feeling good about himself by the end.
Well, he took him to hell. He took him to hell, and he knows that he can survive in that place. Like, I know fighting is hell, but being with Goggins for a week straight, nonstop training is a different thing. Like the endurance.
It looks like fun, but I'm sure it'd be tough.
I'm sure it's fun for 2 hours, but then 7 days later, I'm sure you're wishing that you were dead. Like that, it's not. I don't imagine being with Goggins for more than 8 hours would be fun.
I don't know. I would do it just for the experience. If I had to be taken away in an ambulance, fine. But
that's the type of thing where you can't go into it with any doubt. Like there can't be any doubt, because that shit is gonna manifest itself times a million once you get in that fucking pain cave.
Well, there you go. You just mentioned it. Doubt. I believe Ferguson has had doubt since he lost to Gaethje the way he lost to Gaethje. Whether he knows it or not, subconsciously, you have to. And physical damage, brain damage. So, Paddy Pimblett is he's a terrible striker, but
that's true. And let me talk about, and let me go back to kind of what I was saying before. Like his crossroads is like, obviously he hasn't been fighting the biggest talent. A lot of people didn't think he won his last fight. He comes and shows out, beats Tony. Hey, that train continues to roll. Yeah. He's going on to bigger and better things. But if he loses this fight, now he's going to be set back for a while, and he's going to have to fight a couple of different, several different fights to even get back to where he is now. So, like, if he can get this win, like the crossroads is such a great story to me, because this fight means so much to both of them. Because for Bryce, he can take it, or Paddy can take it to the next level, and it's like win or you're done for Tony. So that's the thing. But go ahead.
I'm going to take Tony Ferguson. I think he has. I think he's got it together this fight. I think he's going to win, and I think he's going to win by submission. Actually.
That's such a great pick. Yeah. Because Tony is so great, even off his back. His jiu-jitsu is amazing. So if he gets him down, and even standing, like you were saying, Paddy doesn't have the greatest freaking striking. No. So he's going to want to take
really
him down.
Wild.
Absolutely.
I mean, I've seen him knock guys out, but there were guys that I just think Tony's going to have it. Goggins is going to be in the corner, by the way, too. That matters.
It does. 100%.
Yeah.
All right. You convinced me. I'm going to go with Tony. I can't go against Goggins. What he gives to people is insane.
All right. So like you guys said, Gaethje, you say he took half of his soul. So if he took half of his soul, I'm saying Michael Chandler took the rest of it. And I say that because I saw it leave. So when you see the still frame of Chandler's foot and his
oh no,
all scrunched up, and that's his fucking soul leaving his body. And so, but like you said, he trained with Goggins, and Goggins said that he saw it in the training. Fucking Ferguson was reborn. And so I don't know. All that being said, fucking Paddy the Batty. I'm going with Paddy the Batty.
All right, that's fair. I mean, look, this one to me is who the hell really knows, but it's MMA. you know, I yeah.